Planning Board hearing. We have some public hearings tonight, so we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Diane, would you please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we take the roll, please?
Julianne Nolan.
Present.
Gerald O'Neill.
Present?
Edward Nguyen.
Present.
Dan Trushin.
Present.
Frank Santos. Robert Macaluso.
Present.
Yumiko Healy.
Present.
Greg Gaxiola. Matt Esposito. And Rich Casey. You have a
We
quorum.
have a quorum. Thank you. Okay. First hearing. Before we start the hearing, I need to read this into the record. The planning board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the planning board may determine that any approvals, building permits, or other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void. First application?
First application is public hearing, minor subdivision, job number HPLN 9225-56B, Jose Polino. Proposes to subdivide a 15,149.54 square foot parcel into two 7,524-77 square foot parcels in order to construct two-story single-family dwellings.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Joseph F. Bazell, Bland, Visconti, 535 Broad Hollow Road, Suite B4 in Melville.
Before we begin, did you receive the letter from Commissioner regarding the covenants, restrictions, and conditions?
Would that be the memo of May 4?
May 4th.
Yes, I have that.
Okay. Have you reviewed that with your client?
I have. I've had it framed and hung it on my mother's refrigerator.
So, are there any objections to any of those?
No, we consent to all of the covenants and all of the conditions.
Terrific, thank you. Proceed. Yeah,
Thank you.
proceed. Thank you.
The application concerns a two-lot subdivision. The property is located on the north side of 43rd Street, about 30 feet west of Sunrise Highway. There's a total lot area of 15,049.5 square feet. It is zoned Residence B. It is vacant. The applicant is a contract vendee and will be developing the property in accordance with the approvals. Utilities are readily available. The ZBA granted the variances in June of last year. We're seeking to subdivide into two parcels and construct a new single-family dwelling on each lot. The lots would be approximately 75 by 100. The variances included a reduction in frontage, a reduction in lot width, and a reduction in rear yard setback. Res B is odd in that it presumes 100 by 125, and there's virtually no street-to-street distance of 250 feet in this town. We comply with front yard, side yard requirements. We're proposing two-story, four-bedroom houses. There is a basement, but the groundwater is 12 feet below the surface, so we have 4 feet, 3 inches separation from groundwater, which is more than the actual requirement. Revisions are pending with the various departments, and the design professionals are working on them. As to drainage and a few other things, we expect that to be completed soon. The south side of 43rd Street, so that would be across the street from us, is in the village of Lindenhurst. It has got this industrial block property that has been there since I was a child. Puzzled about it then, I still puzzle about it now, but there it is. On the north side of 43rd Street are other dwellings. 2 doors down, there's a 75 by 100. To the east at the corner, it's zoned Business E. To the rear, which is to the north, there's also a 75 by 100. While there are lots that comply, there are many that don't, and of course the variances in this case have already been issued. There are also a couple of 50 by 100s in this neighborhood. This will be a positive upgrade for this property, which has been used for storage and vehicle parking purposes. So finishing the block with single-family housing will be an improvement both to the property and to the neighborhood. We consent to all of the covenants, and we consent to all of the conditions.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to have something to say?
Music to my ears.
Okay. All right. Can I have a motion to close? I need a motion to close the hearing. Frank? Second from Dan?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Before we proceed to close this, the public hearing has now been closed. The decision has been reserved in order for us to review the feedback we have received this evening and any open site plan issues. The record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or submit additional written comments, you can contact the Planning Department in either of the following ways. In person, planning is located in the west wing of Town Hall. Application documents and plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. You can call, the phone number is 631-957-3103, or by email at planningcomments@townofbabylonny.gov. Thank you. Next.
Okay. Item B is a public hearing, modified site plan review and minor subdivision. The job is HPLN-84, 18-30 ABH, BL10, 1620 New Highway LLC. The applicant's proposing modified site plan to eliminate the 3 proposed warehouse buildings and construct one 12,666 square foot, 1-story building for an office and service garage for enterprise rent-a-car and outdoor storage of vehicle inventory along with associated site plans.
Evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Joseph F. Bazell, Blander, and Visconti, 535 Broad Hollow Road, Suite B4 in Melville, and I have received the planning comments.
And any objections?
No.
No questions? Everything's acceptable.
Look, you could always ask questions on a planning memo. Are any of them really worth getting into in this forum? No, I don't think so.
Will we hear that during your presentation?
There will be a mention of it.
Okay, proceed.
We're here on site plan modifications related to converting warehousing that was approved but never constructed to an enterprise rent-a-car storage and maintenance facility. The premises is on the west side of New Highway in East Farmingdale, about 330 feet north of the Long Island Railroad tracks. It's very irregularly shaped. It has limited frontage on New Highway of 43.27, but a variance has already been granted for that, and it widens out in the rear. It's behind industrial properties on New Highway, which screen the property from New Highway. It is zoned industrial G and has a total area of 16.29 acres. The site is certainly in need of redevelopment. The present use, aside from a National Grid natural gas input facility, is been most recently used for storage of buses and other vehicles. Access is via a shared driveway with the property to the south that is owned by Basilico pursuant to an easement agreement that creates a 50-foot right-of-way. To the south, there is the Basilico property with an asphalt plant. Then there's the railroad. To the east, industrial buildings on New Highway. Across New Highway is a rail freight terminal, and then the Pine Lawn Cemetery. To the north, nicer-looking industrial buildings and uses. To the west, industrial buildings and industrial uses. So we have an industrial property in an industrial area, no residents nearby. The nearest residentially zoned property is the cemetery. In September of 2020, this board approved site plan approval for a warehousing project to develop the premises with 3 multi-tenant warehouse buildings. In October of 2020, the zoning board granted the related variances and covenants were recorded in 2021. Before the warehouses were constructed, however, National Grid approached the owner about constructing a CNG, compressed natural gas distribution facility on part of the property. We came back for site plan modifications related to National Grid. One of the 3 buildings was substantially reduced. The other 3 buildings were still on the site plan as they were. Again, they were never built. On March 7th of 2022, the planning board approved site plan modifications, and on March 31st, the ZBA granted approval for that frontage variance and for 4 buildings on site, which is no longer necessary. After further review and evaluation, the warehouse buildings have been eliminated. Enterprise Rent-A-Car will take all of the property except for the area now used by National Grid. The permitted building area is 40% or 283,911 square feet, and for this town, that is a very big number of building area. The building area for the warehouses came in at 39.79%. For National Grid, it dropped down to 29.79%. The building area now without the outside storage is about 2%. The building area with the outside storage, which is not really part of a building area calculation, but I'll give it, it's 28.71. Enterprise would build a single building. It would be used for 2 purposes. First, as office space to manage the Enterprise Rent-A-Car business. Second, there's a service center which would be used to maintain Enterprise's rental vehicles, essentially light repair, tire service, oil changes, inspections, things like that. And of course, to clean the vehicles. The remainder of the property will be used simply to store Enterprise's late model fleet, as well as for new car stock. Some vehicles will be taken here for their inspections and then plated and sent out to other locations. The expectation is there would be 8 to 10 administrative employees in the office area, 4 to 5 employees in the maintenance shop. There will be 5 quote, on-lot drivers who will move the vehicles around, and there will be 25 to 30 over-the-road drivers who will move the cars from the property to local branches and bring them back. With the cars, no customer will enter the site, no customer will drive their vehicle, an Enterprise vehicle, or any other on the site. They will not move the vehicles on the site. Enterprise employees will do that. The over-the-road drivers typically show up in the morning, get their assignments, and then return in the afternoon to clock out. In addition, there is 1 security guard on the site at all times. 24/7, there will be a security guard there. So all employees, with the exception of the security guard, work Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. The total employees is 46. The parking requirement for the building itself is 51. There are 69 parking spaces provided, and there are 46 employees. The types of vehicles, predominantly cars of various makes and models. These are not old cars, these are not junk cars, these are cars in active rental use to Enterprise customers, and they will vary from small, compact two-door vehicles to SUVs. Carrier trucks will deliver to the site, typically 7 to 9 vehicles. Carrier trucks will take the vehicles off the site, mostly to local, more retail-oriented outfits where the customers will go. But about every 18 to 36 months, Enterprise retires the vehicles as they require it, and so vehicles are taken off the site for that purpose as well. There will be some small cargo vans delivering parts for the maintenance shop. Deliveries are 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. There is consent to all the covenants and the conditions. This is a very positive modification to an approved project that will be an upgrade for this particular property, and you can see it from the aerial. That kind of L-shaped piece moving to the left from that asphalt area is not actually parking, that's key span. They have trucks come in, and what they do is during peak use periods, they pump compressed natural gas into the system. So they pull the truck up, they park the truck, they unhook the cab, they connect the truck, and then the driver leaves. It's a totally secured site. It's only used a few days a year. But the rest of the site, you can see what the existing conditions are. That will all be remedied by the development of this site in accordance with the site plan that's proposed in the application today. That's it. If you want me to go home, just nod. I'm not sure my wife would like that, but
Any questions from
my
the board?
kids and the dog probably would.
Yes. Can you just explain what do you consider a light service on the vehicles inside the building?
No, there's no body work being done on this particular site. They're changing tires, they're doing, regular servicing. If you had a vehicle that would be in an accident, Enterprise is not going to fix it itself. It's going to send it out to its insurance carrier. But if you needed an oil change, a tire change, maybe you needed the brakes adjusted, that type of maintenance work would be done here.
So we have lifts in all bays, maintenance bays and service bays and detailed bays, or just maintenance bays? For the car lifts?
I don't know if they have a lift in every spot.
Okay.
I'm not sure they need them, but they have designated bays. The vehicles come in on one side and go out on the other. The employees would take them out of wherever they're stored, because most of this lot is storage, it's not parking. Then they bring them into the bay, they do the work that they need to do, and then they take them out and they put them back wherever they're going to park them.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I just want to follow up on the subject with an updated FAA determination of no hazard.
Yeah, that came in. I was told it was posted.
Okay.
I have a copy, if you want me to hand it up. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I don't need to hand it up.
Perfect.
But that has come in. This is the third round of FAA no hazard determinations for this site.
So is this the only type of use that Enterprise is using for the entire Long Island area? Is there anything else on Long Island like this?
To my knowledge, like this, no. I believe they have similar facilities in the boroughs.
Okay.
Most of the Enterprise sites that are local, the cars are dropped off, customers pick them up, customers drop them off, the cars are picked up.
So there's a lot of parking on here.
Yes.
Is the anticipation of these spots to be filled, all of them, or?
It'll vary, from day to day, week to week, depending on how the flow of the vehicles go. If you're in the rent-a-car business, you really don't want your car sitting here long. You want them in the hands of the customers. But they wanted to have ample room on the site. And it can vary. Like at any particular time, you could have a big demand for compacts or subcompacts, and then it's sedans or SUVs. It will vary depending on the needs of the market.
And then the reason why I asked all those is because there's a lot of asphalt here.
Yes.
And I'm sure the planning department has reviewed this, but would your client be opposed if we requested some type of permeable asphalt or pavers or something to be installed in part of
I'd
it?
have to talk to them about that. I represent the owner.
Okay.
And it would have to also be signed off by Enterprise. It may be a simpler drainage system, it may even be a cheaper one, but both the owner and enterprise would have to sign off on it,
All right, thanks.
you know.
Yeah. Just also, you mentioned a couple of times the oil change. Just, I don't know if you know this or not, because you're representing the owner, but the proper disposal of all the oil.
Yeah, I mean, I did the lease. All of that's covered in the lease. Enterprise has been servicing its vehicles for a long time. They understand, they designed the building with ample space to handle everything that they need, which includes storage of parts. They're not going to store much on site. They want to get it delivered and put it into operation, but there are some things that they will always have available, and the waste oils have to go, and they're proper.
And proper, obviously, if there's.
Yeah, the special collection, you know, it has to get picked up and sent to the right place. When you have a major operator, it's always a lot simpler than a guy who's just fixing vehicles. I'm not saying anything against just an ordinary guy fixing vehicles. I represent some of those. I haven't attempted that myself since the 80s, but they just get into a program and they have all their existing contracts.
I just want to make sure that how big or small they are, they're disposing the waste.
Yeah, they'll take care of the waste oil.
Okay, thank you. I'm curious, why is there a need for deficiency in parking in the conditions?
I'm sorry?
Number 7, under the conditions, because of the deficiency in parking. With all those parking spaces?
You generate parking requirement from the building, but also from the storage itself. The reality is the storage here does not generate the need for
I understand.
much in the line of parking.
With all those parking spaces, why would there be a deficiency under any category?
Because you have, for every car area you park, you have, every 700 feet requires a parking space, not for storage of vehicles, but for parking. Like here, you have 46 employees, the parking required for the building is 51, we have 69.
Right.
But for the storage area of the lot, the town code requires you to park for that on top of it.
These are not, Mr. Chairman, these aren't considered parking stalls. It's considered outdoor storage. It's exclusive of each other.
Seems redundant, but okay.
That is the way it works.
no.
You know, for what it's worth,
Understood.
you don't see uses with a large vehicle storage area. An auto dealership would be the only other type of use where you see it, but that is how the town code works.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any questions from someone in the audience? Being none? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In reference to your rental vehicles, do you have any plans on keeping electric vehicles on premise in regard to charging ports, batteries for the vehicles, and the exposures of any threats or fires pertaining to those vehicles?
I can't tell you exactly how Enterprise is going to run the shop. I imagine if there's a market for it, they'll want to do it, you know, and the market for electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles has had many ups and downs.
Is that number 6 there?
But
The EV charging stations? There is a section there.
there are charging stations that could also be for employees.
Okay. And as we close, the decision has been reserved. Oh, I need a motion. Would you like to make a motion, Dan?
Motion to close and reserve decision.
Okay. Second, Akima?
Second.
Decision has been reserved in order for us to review the feedback we've received this evening and any open site plan issues. The record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or submit additional written comments, you can contact the planning department in either of the following methods. In person, planning is located in the west wing of Town Hall. Application, documents, and plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. You can call 631-957-3103 or by email planningcomments@townofbarberlyn.ny.gov. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let the record reflect I'm returning the town pen.
Might be the only one that ever has.
Need a motion to close or just close?
At the end of-